How scheduling development time can increase productivity when developing games, coming up. Hey guys, it's Travis Vroman, and today we're going to talk about how scheduling your game development time can increase your productivity in the game development process. I've talked a little bit about time and time management on this channel already, and it's going to definitely come up some more times, but I really wanted to talk about today the importance of scheduling out development time, because it's a lesson that I learned the hard way. And there's, of course, many of these lessons that I learned the hard way, which is the entire point of me making these videos. But I digress. All too often, I hear other developers talking about how they develop things in their free time. And they say, well, you know, I work on it 15 minutes here, or half an hour there, or maybe I put in 2 hours over the weekend, and I just kind of do it whenever I can. Oftentimes, that comes coupled with whatever project that they're working on taking a very long time to complete, because they're not as productive with it because they don't schedule time to actually focus. One thing that I've found over the years, at least with programming in general, is that it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to sometimes longer to really get fully focused on what it is that I'm doing and get to the concentration level where I'm able to go, you know, dozens of layers deep and logic and keep that all in the forefront of my mind. Breaking away from that can be very counterproductive. So getting interrupted or having to drop what it is that you're doing after 10 minutes or so and walking away and then coming back, you've got to then spend that time getting your brain back into that place that it was before just to continue on. That results in a lot of wasted time just to get your brain back into the mode that it was in before and trying to find what you were working on when you left off. It can also lead to more errors in your code, just simply because maybe you've gotten 90% back to where you were, but you forgot about this other little thing, this exception case over here that you meant to consider in your code. What winds up happening is you touch the project 15 minutes here, half an hour there, 20 minutes over here, and really you're only getting maybe 5 to 15 minutes of work in every single time you do that. A better way to handle this would be to instead schedule out time for development, where that time is blocked out and dedicated to development. And if you live with somebody, you work it out with them where they won't interrupt you during that time unless it's absolutely necessary, so that you can retain that focus and be able to maintain the same level of productivity and push forward during that time. And when you schedule time, it's usually a good idea to, if you can, schedule out a couple of hours at a time. I would say at a minimum, you should generally schedule an hour, because again, you'll spend about a quarter of that time just getting back to where you were before. So you want to schedule time blocks as long as you can to an extent. I generally don't like to work longer than about 3 to 4 hours straight without taking a break, simply because there could be diminishing returns on that. Average is usually 2 to 3 hours of work. Sometimes it's below, sometimes it's above. But the benefit of doing that is there's less chance of you getting interrupted, which means less time that you'll have to spend getting your mind back to where it was before, and more time that can be spent just pushing forward on the project and getting stuff done. That's super important when you're trying to actually get something done on a deadline. And of course, as I've said before, all of your game dev projects should always be done on a deadline. Part of scheduling your time out is also using time boxing, which we've discussed before. And you time box your dev to whatever it is that you scheduled. So if you scheduled an hour for dev time, then you stop after an hour and you take a break and you go do something else. The important bit is that you stick to the time that you scheduled, because what can also be dangerous is going beyond your scheduled time and sitting and trying to develop for 5-6 hours straight without a break. That can be dangerous and unproductive for other reasons. That's really it. That's all I've got on that. Basically, schedule out your time for development. Make sure that there are no distractions. Turn off your Facebook and Twitter feeds and turn the television off. Lock yourself in your computer room if you've got one that's separate from the rest of the house, and focus on getting stuff done. Make sure it's at least an hour, 2 to 3 hours is best, and stick to it. All right, so I hope this helps. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.